You had a fantastic run where you won 8 in 12 games. Recently, things haven't been so good. 3 defeats on the spin in all competitions. Why do you think things have not gone so well recently?
I think the truth is somewhere in between of all these winning games and now these losing games. So I think that's strong that we have been over the Christmas time. It was a really perfect term, and now I think we play better than the results are at the moment. But okay, something in between there is maybe the truth of our true quality we have in the moment. We have a few problems with injuries. Started with the Cedric injury at first, then he left. So it was a very, very committed group. They were splitted now a little bit. Reddy is injured, and we had Sofian also injured now, and that caused a few problems. Normal. Stewie was injured, Armstrong meanwhile, and we had to change all the couples broken up, and this means you have to create new automatism, new couples, and in the end, this few percent missing cost you points, or against Tottenham in the end, the winning of the FA Cup. But at the end, we know that it's a journey, and we must find back this few percent we need to win games.
You're 6 points clear of Aston Villa at the moment. You had a great run, as we said, and went into the top half of the Premier League. Does it feel like you're still in a relegation battle, or are you looking up the table?
I look especially on our next game, and the most important thing is always that we are as soon as possible able to reach the 40 points. And if I have 31 at this time of the season, I would be happy before the season. But yeah, it's always when you lose the last 2 games against Liverpool. In Liverpool you can lose. Against Burnley at home there was more possible for us. So we must find back to a game that we can win a game.
Kyle Walker-Peters joined on loan in January, made his debut at Burnley. How pleased are you with the impact he's made and adapted to the club and the philosophy?
I think everybody could see that on the ball he has quality, but against the ball still a lot to learn, I think. The problem is that he's also injured now and cannot play on the weekend. So he's definitely out, that doesn't make it easier, but Jan Valery is training well this week. So I think Kyle showed that he can be with the ball a good option for us, but against the ball we must learn with him, and when he's fit then we will do it again.
What's Kyle done? How long will he be out for?
Calf injury, and it's not that worse, but couldn't train this week, so hopefully next week he can start again.
So it's only a week or so
Yes.
before he's back, so nothing too serious. Whilst we're on the team news, what is the team news ahead of the weekend's game?
Yeah, so far, as I said, Reddy out. We still don't know exactly how long it would be, but minimum 1 month. So this is the worst injury. And then we have Sofian. Yeah, didn't train so far this week. Is a little bit ahead of the schedule, but would be tough for the weekend, I think. And yes, Kyle Walker-Peters, as I said to you, that he's struggling with his calf injury, and the rest. Did I forget somebody? No, I think that's it.
Sofian is just touch and go for the game, possibly back in training next week.
Possibly, yeah. Has problems with his heel on his foot, and I think it's possible to start next week.
Aston Villa up next, as we've said, obviously a huge challenge. They're scrapping for their lives, currently in the bottom 3. How much of an incentive is it for you and your team, the fact that you win and you go 9 points clear, which would be a really healthy cushion?
We had a good first game against this team, but after this game they changed the shape, and now playing more successful in a new shape, more compact, more aggressive. So it would be a completely different game. I think in the first game we did it very well against them. Were quick 3 up and played a very, very controlled game there. But it would be much more difficult now on the weekend. But anyway, the biggest goal for us is to make St. Mary's a fortress again. This is something we know about, the responsibility we have for this fact, that we must do it first, our good job on the pitch. And then it's also important that we create an atmosphere that is not so so easy to stand for an opponent when he's coming to St. Mary's, and this must be the goal for the weekend. We need every supporter to give us his voice and to help us taking this home win. We know that we must make the good performance, and that's alone is not enough. We must show every opponent that it is very, very nasty to play against Southampton in our ground.
There's some quality players at Aston Villa. One that will stand out, Jack Grealish. How do you stop a player like him in his current form, who can be so devastating in front of goal?
Yeah, he's a fantastic player, and like always, we have nearly in every Premier League game one fantastic player. He can make the difference. Like always, we try to defend together. This is our behavior, like we always do, and pay attention on counter security, counter pressing, and also rest defense must be a perfect one. All these things the team is prepared for, and hopefully we show this.
Just a couple of final points. Arsene Wenger has been very vocal this week about VAR. How would you like to see perhaps the rules change to suit the modern game with this technology now being in place?
To be honest, the only rule that really works in the VAR is the offside so far, in my opinion. And we want to change this. I don't know why. It's the only black and white decision that is always right or wrong. Everything else is about subjective. We have so many discussions about everything else. The only thing we don't discuss is the offside. And now we start to change it also. I don't understand this. Because when we change it in that fact, he wants to do it, then we can stop playing offside because it doesn't work anymore. That will change this game massively for me, in my opinion. Anyway, we have to do what the rules give us, and we have to think about how we defend then. But I think in the moment, the only thing that really works well is the decision about the offside or onside. And everything else we must discuss more. As I always said, the final decision is on the on-field referee, and I have the opinion that in very much moments it would be easier to, instead of staying like this and waiting 30 seconds, going themselves there, it doesn't take longer, and we'll have a look, because you know what you have seen, and you know if you can decide it different or not. And it leaves you as a most responsible man on the pitch, and this is what we all want, because we go in the stands to look at this. And as I said before the season, this was always my opinion.
A final question from me. It's only a matter of time now before Liverpool win the Premier League title. Obviously Southampton have sold a number of players to Liverpool. Are you aware of any bonuses that the club may be due financially for Liverpool winning the title? Often when players get sold, they have like a bonus and an add-on if they make so many appearances, if they win the title. Are you aware of any potential finances that may be down, maybe here?
I don't look for this money, to be honest. I wish them all the best. I think there's no doubt that they will be the champion this season. I don't know if we have any bonuses about that, but I haven't spent the money so far. What I maybe get, so
you might get some more. You know?
Maybe. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
You've spoken before about the struggles of the pressures of playing at home. Where is that pressure coming from? Is that something that the squad have self-created, or something they are feeling from playing at St. Mary's?
No, but we know about the history in this season. Lost a lot of games at home, and far away from being as good as away. We can discuss why. There may be a few things that helps us. We can play more on counter-attack if we play away. The opponent has more pressure, must build up, and we have chance to win balls early, and something like that is maybe a reason why. But I think that cannot be pressure for us. We are Premier League team, we are Premier League players. We have to handle also a moment where we maybe go one down and get a little bit nervous. Everything is not patience enough. But this is something we have to turn, and we have to work on, and it's not going away. Nobody helps us, and we must put the things in our hands and try to change it. And I think we can do it because we are in a term where we try to develop every part of our game, and especially our game with the ball made big steps forward in the last weeks, as I think. We also tried it against a very, very good organized opponent on the weekend. We did it well in some moments. We had chances to turn the table also in the first half, didn't make the goal, and then conceded a second one, what is a little bit too easy. We defended very often good, but in that moment we defended not good, and then such an opponent takes this one chance to score, and then it's even more difficult. Never stop trying. Also in the end we had chances, not that much, because against this opponent you don't get so many chances. And this was sure a disappointing result. Finally, I saw a game where we really tried to stick to the game plan, and the game plan was different than to the first game where we lost 3-0 at Burnley, and it was better, much better, I think. But it is a strong opponent, and it was not easy to score against them. We had chances, but in the end it was not good enough. So this is the reason why we were very self-critical without being too negative, because I think it was one of our better home games, and this is why we must take the positive things, because we have another home game now, and then we must show that we can do it even better.
And you touched on this, but do you think your style of play actually suits a team away from home better than it does at St Mary's?
It depends what opponent you are facing. Against Burnley we also lost 3-0 away game, so it's definitely an opponent that is not perfect for us, because they don't build up a lot, and this sometimes causes us a few problems because we have more the ball. But again, I saw also with the ball a few very good scenes, especially in the first half against Burnley. We scored a fantastic goal. We created a few more good chances in the first half, so it was not that bad, I think, and this gives me a lot of hope for the weekend.
I appreciate you've answered one question on Jack Grealish already, but he has been so good for Aston Villa this season, and at times has carried their season as well. Is this one of those occasions where you do have to make a specific plan for a specific player as well as looking at Aston Villa as a whole?
No, we never do this. We defend, as you know, ball-oriented, so we are more concentrated where's the ball, not where's Jack Grealish, and that's the reason why we never care about a single player. We have, as I said, in every Premier League team are 1-2 fantastic players. If you defend together as a team, then it doesn't care.
Have they been a bit unlucky, Aston Villa? They looked good in those opening couple of months of the season, lost John McGinn from their midfield, and it seemed to really affect them.
Yeah, but it's still a strong side, and they showed in the last weeks that they can compete with nearly every opponent, and also against Tottenham at home they normally must win this game, so it was a very tight game. They are in the Carabao Cup final, so they have had really a successful term since since our last game, and so completely changed team. Fantastic job from the opponent, from the manager, to turn things around like this, and still one team that is fighting for relegation, but we are also not far away. So for us, important game. We need, as I said, every supporter to help us and create an atmosphere where we can take a bonus out of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn.
When that section there moves on to one embargo for 10:30. Dan?
Thanks, Jordan. All right, when you look at the injury list, do you sort of see that as, how big of a blow is that? I mean, is it a relief that the games you're playing aren't against the bigger sides, or?
It shouldn't be any difference about playing a bigger size, or if you want a team that sits around us. No, Premier League games are all tough for us, and if you want to win it, we know that we have to have a perfect game, and we had a few very good ones over Christmas, and now we must. We had a good one also against Liverpool, but didn't take something. We also didn't have a bad one against Burnley, and we didn't take one thing. So we must find back to the way that we get the points. It's about more concentration of the 90 minutes. We must have a better defense now again, because this was the big quality in the games we won. A clean sheet against Chelsea, a clean sheet at home against Tottenham. This is the key of winning, and this is what we have to focus on. And we can do this. We showed that we can do this. But again, we have now a different back four. We have a different number 10s, and they have a few changes on the team. At the very successful term, we had always played with the same squad, and they were very committed, they're very good organized. We are just trying to find back the way that everything works like this.
Do you feel as though the squad is big enough to be able to deal with these players being out? Like,
Yeah.
hasn't played in a long time.
Sure, I have now for this shape, a very balanced squad, what means player from number 12 to number 18. I see it in every session that we have in nearly every position 2 players. A few youngers are also coming now and showing up, and maybe there will come the time earlier than you think that they are playing at St. Mary's, and I think it's our way. We have this target to develop the young guys, and will help us to have a few guys from the academy there coming up, and we have every position now double. We have always a fight for every position, and this is what we need.
You mentioned just a second ago about you changed the defence recently. I think looking at it, Villa and Saints have got the worst defences records in the Premier League this year. So when you're looking at this game, are you trying to? Is your style of play always going to be a case of we have to outscore them in that sense, as
Shouldn't
opposed to
be.
grinding a result out 1-0?
No, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be also enough to win 1-0. This is if you want the best routes for every manager, because then you can be critical and even have the 3 points. So I like this result the most. But we know that we always score. We can score. Danny is still in good form, and we have guys there in front. Okay, also without Reddy now, they can score. And the most important thing, as I said, is as you said, having a clean sheet, and defensively. We do it well for a long time, but 1, 2, 3 times when you're not 100% organized, the quality of the Premier League is so high that you immediately get a goal.
One of the players that could come back in could be Moussa Djenepo. He obviously to replace Redmond and Boufal. He obviously started his Saints career so quickly, scored a couple of really important goals, but then did the Premier League almost catch up with him in that sense?
Yeah, he's still a young player and has to learn a lot. I think he had a good impact when he was coming here, showed immediately then he can help us. In the 4-2-2, the number 10 position is maybe not the perfect for him, because he's sometimes a little bit more inside. He likes to play very far outside on the line. So in the 5-2-3, he felt more comfortable on the winger position. This is more, I think, for him. But we'll try to get the feeling for him. Why is it so important to be in these gaps? Why is it important to wait in the pocket for the ball, and he get more and more used to it. I think he did a very, very good game against Liverpool. He played very well there, and still convinced that he has a big future here.
Have you seen a big development from him in training alone as well? He's not played all too often recently, but
yes, also sure, because especially against the ball, he had to learn a lot. He did, and the only thing I can say is all the guys love him, because he's always positive, has always a fantastic atmosphere, and always laughing and give us positively a good boost every day, I think.
And just finally from me, it's another home game, and after the defeat to Burnley, Sean Dyche referenced the club's programme as doing the team talk for him. So you'd be sort of like casting your eye just to make sure there's nothing in there that could do that this time around?
Yeah, couldn't understand this, because it's not from us, it's from a journalist who writes this messages. So if it takes it for motivation, okay. You can also take every newspaper and you read what they are speaking about my team. So it's okay. In general, I think there were only facts, maybe facts a little bit analyzed from a journalist. So as a service, we offer every other opponent when it comes to us, read about what a tactic journalist says about them. Don't care about it, I think, too much. Don't hang it too high.
Carl? Hi, Ralph. I want to talk about the changes you made in defence last week. You dropped Jan Bednarek. Will he be returned for London?
It's also an option for me. We had, especially against the team, that is sitting deep and defending deep. Try to play with Yannick because he plays very good passes in the red zone. Took more risk also in some moments. Lure them a little bit more out. Sometimes looked really dangerous. I understand this that it will look sometimes a little bit risky. We took more risk, but we had to because otherwise we could never get a space where we can use. And they tried to lure them out. And every time we did this, we created good chances. So it was the right way to go. On the weekend, there are other things necessary, and that maybe it's possible that we, because of this, change our shape or changed building up with back three or whatever.
Obviously, injuries have affected your side. But do you think Southampton have a problem breaking down teams that are playing in a lower block?
Oh, not really. We played against Crystal Palace, maybe the team that sits the deepest, and we won 2-0 there. Scored in the right moment, played fantastic football. We have, and as what I said, we had made this development to do it. In away games, we did it more maybe than at home, but still at home we showed in some moments that we have the patience to wait for the right moment. We need to have it, everybody, and I think this helps us massively then. Yeah.
And the right moments, the last time we played Aston Villa were from set pieces, 2 goals from set pieces, then included one from Benham.
That's right, yeah. Two goals.
Jack
One.
Stevens from the corner,
Yeah, and
from the free kick.
no.
Ings scored.
The first goal was from Ingsy after a counter-attack from Longy, and the second one was from Ingsy after a mistake from Villa in the defense. So
You told me afterwards you wanted Benham to get a goal from a set piece.
yeah. No, it was only one goal, but yeah, set pieces are always a good chance to score, and I think it was the last we scored against them, or is it? Or no, but Jan Petternik later was the one. Yeah, wouldn't be negative if one of these guys score again. Although I know the statistic of Jan, if he scored, we always lose 3-2. So I've heard this also. Time to change this. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.